He's one of Thailand's most notorious sorcerers. To help his boss seize new territory, he travels all the way to Taiwan on a mission to buy an incredibly powerful demon. The Thai public is fed up with the prime minister, demanding he step down from office. And the reason behind all this rage and unrest? It's because David has unleashed a terrifying demon. This demon is a leftover from the days of war. The souls of defeated soldiers, consumed by rage, resentment, and an unwillingness to accept defeat, their emotions twisted into dark, evil power. And over time, that power only grew stronger, eventually becoming a demon known as the Chiro. David brings the Chirong back to Thailand, and ruthlessly sacrifices his own men to feed it. His sister senses the coming danger, so she turns to Jack for help in subduing the Chirong, but he doesn't seem all that willing. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Pete is watching a video about the Wu, the sorcerers. Before all things came into being, the ancient god Pangu used his infinite power to split the heavens from the earth, and from that moment, yin and yang were born. Pangu turned his breath into the wind and clouds, his voice into thunder and lightning, his left and right eyes into the sun and the moon, and his blood and body into the rivers and mountains. Countless eras have passed, yet Pangu's infinite power still flows through everything in an endless cycle, and a rare few people are able to tap into that power, as if they've inherited the creator's divine strength. These people are called the Wu. After watching the video, Pete is amazed. So Jack is one of these people, someone with the power of creation itself. He rushes off to find him, hoping Jack can help get rid of the six-eared macaque inside him. But Jack refuses to admit he's a Wu, because back when he was just a kid, his grandfather caught him gambling with other children, and gave him a serious scolding. To ordinary people, it might seem like a small thing, but to their kind, it was the same as gambling your fate against heaven and earth themselves. Jack still didn't get it. Furious, his grandfather told him, no one has the right to assume that heaven and earth will favor them. Heaven and earth treat all living things equally. But Jack still wouldn't listen. He believed that once he became a Wu, he'd be the one protecting heaven and earth, so surely heaven and earth would take his side. His grandfather just shook his head. Those words cut deep into Jack's heart, and he's never forgotten them, not even now. That's why, whenever someone calls him a Wu, Jack reacts with intense disgust. The day after that conversation, his grandfather passed away peacefully in his bed. Then his grandfather's senior disciple came to find Jack, hoping he'd join their order, but his grandfather's words were still burned into his soul. Angry, Jack just turned over and went back to bed. Next, the disciple's own apprentice came to see him. If Jack didn't join them, he'd be sent off to an orphanage, and he'd truly live the rest of his life as an ordinary person. But if he came with them, one day he could grow up to become someone extraordinary. The apprentice told him they'd wait until noon the next day, and asked Jack to think it over carefully. But Jack ended up sleeping right through till midday. By the time he woke, the car was already pulling away. Watching it disappear into the distance, something inside him made up its mind. Jack grabbed the jade pendant his grandfather had left him, and barefoot, took a shortcut to chase down the car. Luckily, the apprentice spotted him running behind them, and the car finally came to a stop. The apprentice stepped out and walked slowly toward Jack. As it turns out, that apprentice is the woman Jack now calls his sister. Thinking back on everything that happened, Jack finally comes around. He decides to help his sister take down the Chiro, but he wants 100 million as payment. Meanwhile, on the other side, David is offering even more sacrifices to the Chiro. Its power is growing stronger by the moment, and so is the public's fury. Even the prime minister never imagined things would spiral this far out of control. The island's executive committee is now urging him to resign. His sister explains that all of this is being driven by an evil force, and promises she'll put an end to it as soon as possible. But the power they're up against is overwhelming. Jack will need to borrow the strength of the six-eared macaque living inside Pete.